Hi, this is Frances from Healing Vibrations, and I'd like to ask you if you were born in any of the following years: 1991, 1982, 1973, 1964, 1955, 1946, or 1937. And if you were born in any of those years, or if you know somebody that was, well, this video is for you. I help people to discover their true contribution and value, and to express that out into the world as they move forward in life. And one of the things that I do when I meet any new client is, and before we do any kind of healing work, is that I give them a divine blueprint reading, which is based on the science and the philosophy of Chinese medicine. And we look at how nature impacts us, and how our personalities are based on the energy of Chinese medicine, and particularly the 5 elements of nature. And so with that particular reading, I also give a prediction of the energy that's going to impact them during the particular year. And so we look at this particular year as being the 6th year of a 9-year cycle. The Chinese work in those cycles of 9 years. And so this year is the 6th year. And if we look back to last year would have been quite an intense year for you. It would have been quite powerful in that maybe a lot of opportunities came your way. And it would have been really important for you to be home to receive those opportunities, and not necessarily out and flying all over the country or overseas. It would have been really important to be home, and not to have moved home either, because that would have upset the energy of the year that you were in last year. But also it would have been a year where you will have grown a lot. It would have been a lot of time, a good time for growth, and particularly in regard to anything that you'd planned in the years prior to that. So this year the energy is a bit different. So you probably would have needed a holiday at the end of last year, because the energy would have been quite intense, and there would have been a lot of things coming towards you, and a lot of people might have needed your help last year as well. But this year, this is a year where the energy is all about the energy is about you now recognizing your achievements so far, but also being recognized by other people in regard to how you've come along in life. So it will be a year where you're being recognized for what you've succeeded in so far. You may be seen to be now an expert in the job that you're doing at work, for instance. It's a year where people actually get recognized, and also may get a promotion or a raise at work, which is fabulous. This year also relates to the energy of autumn, if we look at the season of autumn. So it's a time where we may kind of look back at life and see what needs to be refined. We look back at our own achievements, for instance, but we also look back and see what we need to kind of continue holding on to, or what we may necessarily need to let go of. You'll look back at what's really valuable to you as well. This year is really important for you to maybe do a space clearing around your home, for instance. Space clearing is really good to let go of any negative energy, but also to release anything that's no longer of value to you in your life. And space clearings can be done by somebody who's professional at it, or you could actually do your own space clearing by having a party, or putting on some loud music, or to dance. There's really some very simple ways of doing your own space clearing. But this year is also important for you to find a place within your own home that you can create as sacred space. Meaning you may find a room where you have your own particular chair, or your own separate space to wherever you don't, not necessarily somewhere where you do your work or somewhere where you would talk to somebody on the phone. It's somewhere where you can be alone and kind of be able to sit there and reflect and be in your own space, so to speak. Somewhere where you can meditate or maybe read inspirational books or even to journal would be really fabulous this year. As I was saying a bit earlier, this is a year, it's the first year of a 2-year cycle of reaping rewards. Hello Kay, thank you for watching. This is talking about the 6th year of the 9-year cycle. So this year it's where you, as I said, you start to get recognized for your achievements, and you may graduate in some form, or you may get a promotion, or there may be a job offer that comes your way, or you get a raise. And it's not necessarily that you go out and look for this, it's kind of like people respect you more this year. So you're not actively going out looking for it, it's actually just going to come to you. And that's the energy that, of the pattern of this energy that's influencing you this year. It's also a year, when I mentioned earlier about creating a sacred space, it's also about you having a greater sense of the sacred yourself. And in Chinese medicine, this is reflected by looking up at the sky, and looking up at the sky or at heaven, if you have that sense of heaven. And this is what's going to happen for you this year. It's where people will actually look up to you as well. So know that this year you're going to be recognized more and be seen as the expert. And so it's important to take advantage of this year. But also this year you may get a little bit more sensitive to criticism. You may be a person that may have difficulty actually acknowledging praise or respect. So this year it's important for you to recognize that you will be shown more respect this year. But criticism may come your way too, and be aware that you'll be a little bit more sensitive to that, and you'll be more sensitive as well to self-criticism as well. So it's important for you to just recognize when people are praising you, and see if you can learn to accept that more readily and more easily. When we look at this, the particular archetype for this year, this is represented by the king or the father archetype. And so the father or the king, he has a vision of, he has a great vision of all that he can see and what needs to be done. So this is the energy that you're being influenced by this year. But it's also, if you look at the father or the king archetype, there's a certain sense of power that we recognize them for. So this is the energy that you will also take on this year. It's about you stepping into your power. And but it's also a good year this year to look at the finer details of your life, look at what you hold true and valuable to yourself, and also look at what you can let go of this year. And that's where I mentioned earlier about a space clearing would be really valuable for you to do this year. So be aware too, as I said, you may be a little bit more sensitive to self-criticism or criticism from others this year. So you'll be maybe a little bit more touchy about that. But just be conscious that that's the energy of this year that may be influencing that. And maybe to know that you'll also maybe look at things a bit black and white. And it's maybe good to notice when you're doing that and see if you can look at things, the shades of grey and the other colours in between. And talking about colours, the colour that's representing this year, each of the elements of nature have a particular colour that's associated with it. And if you were to wear the particular colour that's associated with that element, it's more powerful, it helps to influence this year. So the colour associated with this colour, which also the element that relates to this particular pattern, is metal. So white is the colour, but also greys and silvers and golds and monochromatic colours, metallic colours, are really powerful. So if you like those particular colours, it'd be great to wear those particular colours this year. But also you may decide to buy beautiful silver or gold ornament to put on a table, or you may, put a beautiful white cushion on a couch, and maybe have images that have those particular colours in them in your house as well. So I want you to embrace the energy of this year. Know it's a powerful time for you to learn to step into your power. Create a sacred space for yourself this year is really important. And to know that this is the first year of a cycle of 2 years where you're reaping rewards. So embrace that, and I look forward to speaking to you in regard to the next year of this powerful period later on, maybe tonight. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Bye for now.